My girlfriend told me she only likes me but wants to keep all boyfriend benefits. I switched to actual roommate mode. Now everyone thinks I'm the problem. Been lurking here for years but never thought I'd post. This whole situation has me questioning everything, so here goes. Aurora and I have been together for 2.5 years, living together for the last year in my apartment. Things seemed good, not perfect, but good. We split most things, went on trips, had our routines. I thought we were building towards something real. Last Tuesday night, she sat me down for what she called radical honesty. She said she'd been thinking about our relationship and needed to tell me the truth. My heart started racing because I figured either engagement talk or breakup talk. Instead, she hit me with, "Nalan, I need you to know that I like you. I really do. But I don't love you. I'm not sure I ever have, and I don't know if I ever will, but I don't want to break up and I don't want anything to change between us." I stared at her, then asked what that meant exactly. She said she was happy with our living situation, our intimacy, our social life, how we split expenses, everything. She just wanted me to know where her feelings actually stood so we could move forward honestly. I sat there for maybe 5 minutes processing. Then I made my decision. I told her, "Thank you for being honest with me. I appreciate knowing where we stand." She seemed relieved and said she was glad I understood. We went to bed normally that night. The next morning, I started making adjustments. I canceled the weekly flower delivery I'd been sending to her work. I moved my pillows and some clothes to the guest room, my office. I set up Splitwise and sent her a detailed breakdown of the last 3 months of expenses where I'd been covering more than my share. Dinners out, her drinks with friends that I'd pay for, that weekend trip to Napa. Total came to $1,820 that she owed me. I also shifted our text dynamic. No more good morning texts with hearts, no more thinking of you messages during the day, no more selfies from work. Just practical stuff, grocery lists, schedule coordination, basic roommate communication. When she got home Wednesday, she seemed confused, asked why I seemed different. I explained that I respected her honesty and was adjusting our relationship to match her feelings. She said I was overreacting. Thursday morning, she tried to initiate our usual goodbye kiss routine. I gave her a friendly pat on the shoulder and said, "Have a good day." She looked hurt, which confused me. That evening, she made my favorite dinner as a surprise. When I offered to Venmo her for half the grocery cost, she got upset, said I was being weird about everything. I explained that since we're friends and roommates now, we should split expenses evenly. That's fair, right? Friday, she had her friend Talia over. They kept whispering and looking at me. After Talia left, Aurora asked if we could talk. She said I was punishing her for being honest, and that she never asked me to stop being affectionate. I told her I wasn't punishing anyone. I was simply treating her exactly how someone treats a person who likes them but doesn't love them, as a friend. The intimacy, romance, and boyfriend treatment I'd been giving her were expressions of love. Since she doesn't love me and doesn't want that type of relationship, I thought it was appropriate to adjust. She got quiet and said that wasn't what she meant. But here's what's bugging me. What did she mean? She wants me to keep acting like her boyfriend while knowing she doesn't love me. She wants me to keep paying for things, being romantic, planning special dates, and sleeping in the same bed with someone who just told me she doesn't love me. Her friend Talia texted me later saying I'm being immature and should appreciate Aurora's honesty instead of throwing a tantrum. But I'm not throwing a tantrum. I thanked her for her honesty and adjusted accordingly. This weekend, Aurora's been trying different tactics. Saturday, she bought expensive sushi from that place. We went for our anniversary and suggested we Netflix and chill afterward. I said thanks for thinking of me, paid for my half, and went to my room to work on my motorcycle maintenance project. Sunday, she asked if I wanted to go to the farmer's market like we used to. I said I was meeting my buddy Marco to help him move some furniture, but she should definitely go and enjoy herself. She's been sighing a lot and making comments about how cold I'm being. But I'm not cold, I'm friendly and respectful. I'm polite, I do my share of housework. I'm just treating her like what she said she is. Am I handling this wrong? Because everyone seems to think I'm the asshole here, but I genuinely don't understand what she expected when she told me she doesn't love me but wants everything to stay the same. Update 1. Posted 5 days later. So things have escalated in ways I didn't expect. Thank you to everyone who commented on my first post. Reading your responses helped me feel less crazy about this situation. Wednesday morning, Aurora's car wouldn't start. Not just dead battery, full electrical system failure. Tow truck, whole deal. Normally, I would have immediately said, use my car, I'll handle the mechanic, don't worry about it. Instead, I said, that sucks, I'm sorry. AAA should be able to help with the tow. She stared at me like I'd grown a second head. That's it? What do you mean? You're not going to help? I explained that as her friend, I'm happy to give her rides when convenient, but the car repair is her responsibility. Before, as her boyfriend, I would have handled it because that's what partners do for each other. But she'd clarified we're not partners in that sense. The repair estimate was $2,100. She asked if I could cover it and she'd pay me back. I told her that's a significant amount that friends don't typically lend each other, and suggested she look into payment plans with the shop or ask her family. She went quiet for the rest of the day. Thursday evening, her friend Talia showed up unannounced. She sat me down and gave me a speech about how I'm weaponizing Aurora's vulnerability and making her regret being honest. I asked Talia a simple question. Would you date someone who told you straight up they don't love you? Long pause. That's different. How? You guys have history. You live together. So if someone you lived with and had history with told you they don't love you but wanted to keep sharing a bed with you, having you pay for dates and acting like a couple, you'd be fine with that. Another long pause. You're twisting it. I'm really not. I'm asking if you would stay in that exact situation. She changed the subject to how Aurora is going through something and needs my support. I said I'm being supportive as a friend, which is what Aurora said she wants. Then Talia said something that really stuck with me. She never said she wanted to be just friends. That hit me. Because she's right, Aurora never said she wanted to be just friends. She said she doesn't love me but wants everything to stay exactly the same. And that's even more messed up than it already is. Friday evening, Aurora asked if we could talk about us. I said, of course. She launched into how I'm being punitive and making her pay for being honest. I stopped her and said, Aurora, I need to ask you something directly. When you told me you don't love me, what exactly did you want me to do with that information? I wanted you to understand where I'm at emotionally. Okay, and then what? How did you picture our relationship continuing? The same as before. I told you I didn't want anything to change. But everything was based on the assumption that we loved each other. The intimacy, the financial entanglement, the future planning, all of it. If you don't love me, why would you want me to keep doing those things? She got frustrated and said I was making this complicated when it doesn't have to be. Then she dropped the bomb. I called my parents. They want to talk to you. Saturday afternoon, her parents came over. I actually like them. They've always been kind to me. But this was awkward as hell. Her mom started with, Nalan, we're concerned about how you're handling Aurora's honesty. Her dad jumped in. She was brave enough to share her feelings and now you're punishing her for it. I stayed calm and explained my perspective. Then I showed them the splitwise breakdown, the screenshots of me covering date expenses, the canceled flower delivery confirmation. I explained that all of these things were expressions of romantic love. I'm not punishing Aurora for being honest, I said. I'm respecting what she told me. She doesn't love me. These romantic gestures and financial support were based on the belief that we were building a loving partnership. She's clarified herself that's not what this is. Her mom asked, so what is it then? According to Aurora, we're two people who like each other and live together conveniently. Her dad was quiet for a minute, then turned to Aurora. If you don't love someone, why would you expect them to keep treating you like they do? Aurora got upset and said they didn't understand. Her mom asked her directly, honey, do you love Nalan? It's complicated. It's not complicated. Do you love him or not? Long silence. I care about him. Her dad turned to me and said, son, you're handling this exactly right. If she doesn't love you, she shouldn't expect boyfriend treatment. They left shortly after. Aurora hasn't talked to me since except for necessary house stuff. Sunday night Aurora posted on Instagram a photo of her splitwise request with some expenses circled, captioned, "When your boyfriend starts charging you for relationship expenses and treating you like a stranger because you went through a vulnerable moment. Emotional manipulation is real, ladies." My phone started blowing up. Her friends, some mutual friends, even my cousin asking what the hell was going on. I didn't respond publicly. Instead, I created a group text with our closest mutual friends. I sent the full context, screenshots of her honesty conversation, the timeline of my responses, everything. The responses were, "Interesting. My buddy Jack, bro, she told you she doesn't love you but wants you to keep paying for dates. That's wild." Our friend Natalie, "Wait, she wants to keep sleeping together but doesn't love you. That would mess with my head too." Even Sally, who's closer to Aurora, "This is manipulative as hell. She can't have it both ways." Aurora's post disappeared by Sunday night. I'm not trying to hurt Aurora. I'm really not. But I can't pretend to be okay with someone wanting to extract all the benefits of having a loving boyfriend from someone who doesn't love me back. Edit, to everyone asking why I don't just break up with her. Honestly, I keep hoping she'll realize how strange her request is and either decide she does want to work on loving me or decide she wants to break up. The living situation is complicated since it's my apartment and lease. Update 2. Posted 1 week later. This is probably my final update unless something major happens. The situation has basically resolved itself, though not in any way I expected. After the family intervention and social media disaster, Aurora shifted tactics. She started doing all my favorite things, making my coffee exactly how I like it in the morning, buying that specific IPA I mentioned liking once, cooking elaborate dinners with multiple courses. Each time, I'd thank her and offer to pay for my portion or contribute to the grocery cost. This clearly frustrated her, but I maintained that friends split expenses fairly. The breaking point was when she spent $80 on ingredients for this complex seafood pasta dish, clearly expecting some grand gesture of appreciation. When I Venmo'd her $40 afterward, she snapped, "This is insane, Nolan. I'm trying to show you I care. I appreciate that you care, as a friend. We're not just friends. Then what are we? Because you've been very clear that you don't love me." She couldn't answer that. Tuesday through Thursday was rough. She started picking fights about everything: how I loaded the dishwasher, my motorcycle tools in the garage, my attitude. Wednesday night she completely lost it, screaming about how I'm emotionally abusive and manipulating her through withholding affection. She said some really hurtful things about how I'm too stupid to understand nuance and acting like an autistic robot. I recorded this on my phone. My state is one-party consent for recording. Not to use against her, but because I wanted to have clarity about what was actually said. The next morning she acted like nothing happened and made me breakfast. I ate it, thanked her, left money on the counter for groceries, and went to work. Friday she suggested couples therapy. She'd found a therapist who specializes in relationship transitions and communication challenges. I told her I'd think about it, but honestly, what would we tell the therapist? My girlfriend wants me to love her romantically while she doesn't love me back. Saturday morning I gave her my answer. "Aurora, I don't need therapy to help me except being in a one-sided loving relationship. I need to be with someone who actually loves me." She started crying and said she was working on her feelings and just needed time. "How long?" I asked. "I don't know. Months? Years? Should I put my emotional needs on hold indefinitely while you figure out if you'll ever love me?" More crying. No answer. This is where it gets really messy. Sunday night, Aurora went full scorched earth on social media. Instagram story series about financial abuse in relationships. TikToks about men who punish women for honesty. A Facebook post about narcissistic partners who weaponize your vulnerability. She posted screenshots of our splitwise requests, but carefully cropped out the context. She showed the flower delivery cancellation, but not her "I don't love you" conversation. She posted about me moving to the guest room, but framed it as me abandoning her. My phone was going crazy. Her coworkers were deeming me, calling me an asshole. Some girl from her yoga class told me I was trash in my Instagram DMs. My own sister called asking what the hell was going on. But here's where Aurora made a crucial mistake. She included several mutual friends in her Expose Nolan campaign, including people who were in that group text where I'd shared the full context. Jack screenshot her posts and sent them to the group text with, "This is wild. She's literally lying about what happened." Natalie commented on Aurora's Facebook post, "Girl, this isn't the whole story and you know it." Sally actually confronted her publicly. "Aurora, you told him you don't love him. What did you expect?" Monday morning, I woke up to Aurora crying at the kitchen table. All her posts were deleted. She'd been up all night fielding angry messages from friends who knew the truth. She begged me to make a post defending her, saying she got carried away and didn't mean to lie. I told her I wouldn't publicly humiliate her further, but I also wouldn't lie for her. Tuesday evening, Aurora came to me and said she'd been thinking about everything. She asked if we could start over, not as boyfriend-girlfriend, not as roommates, but work towards something real. I asked what that meant practically. We could date, like actually date, start from the beginning. "Aurora, we live together. We've been sleeping together for 2 years. We can't exactly start from the beginning." "Then what do you want?" "I want to be with someone who loves me, not someone who might love me eventually, not someone who's working on it, not someone who's testing me, someone who actually loves me." She was quiet for a long time, then said, "I don't think that's me." Finally, some real honesty. "Okay," I said, "so what do we do now?" We spent Wednesday evening having the most honest conversation we'd had this entire time. She admitted that she'd hoped I would fight for her when she told me she didn't love me. She'd read some article about brutal honesty, sparking romance, and thought it would make me try harder. "I wanted you to prove that you loved me enough to stay even if I didn't love you back," she said. That was heartbreaking and infuriating at the same time. "Aurora, I never stopped loving you. I stopped showing you romantic love because you told me you didn't want or feel that kind of love. There's a difference." She started crying again. "I know that now." We talked logistics. "The apartment is in my name. I put down the security deposit. All the furniture is mine or stuff we bought together that I paid for. She makes good money but hasn't been saving because I'd been covering so many of our joint expenses. I spent Thursday researching apartments in her budget and sent her a list of places. She seemed overwhelmed and asked if she could just stay until she figured things out. I told her gently but firmly that we needed a timeline. Living together while working through this wasn't healthy for either of us. Friday morning, Aurora called her parents crying. By afternoon, her mom called me. "Nolan, is there any way you two can work this out?" I explained everything again. Her mom was quiet, then said, "She told me she was testing you. That article she read. Honey, that's not how healthy relationships work." "I know, Mrs. Larson. Her father and I will help with security deposit and moving costs. She needs to move out and you both need space to heal." Aurora signed a lease on a 1-bedroom place Sunday. Her parents put down first month and security deposit. She'll move out next weekend. We're going to split shared items fairly. She can take whatever she wants that isn't expensive or sentimental to me. I'm not angry anymore, just sad about the whole situation. I really did love her. I still do, in a way. But I can't build a future with someone who would test my love by pretending not to love me back. Edit. Aurora's parents sent me a really kind text apologizing for the whole situation and saying they raised her better than this. They're good people. I hope she learns from this experience. Final update. Posted 3 weeks later. I wasn't planning another update, but so many people have messaged asking for closure, and some significant things have happened that I think are worth sharing. Aurora moved out 2 Saturdays ago. It was weird. Not dramatic or emotional, just strange seeing someone pack up their entire presence in your life into boxes. Marco came to help, which made things easier. He's a good friend, didn't ask unnecessary questions, just showed up with coffee and helped carry stuff. Aurora's dad also came, and honestly, he was more help than she was. She kept getting distracted and emotional. The whole process took about 6 hours. When it was done, she lingered by the door like she wanted to say something profound. Instead, she just said, "Take care of yourself, Nolan. You too, Aurora." And that was it. 2.5 years over. First thing I did was deep clean everything. Not because it was dirty, but because I needed to reclaim the space mentally. Rearranged furniture, put my motorcycle magazines back on the coffee table, set up my guitar in the corner where her vanity table used to be. It's funny how much space one person takes up. The apartment feels bigger now, but also quieter. I kept the Splitwise account active for a few days in case there were any final shared expenses to settle. She paid me back the $1,820 she owed in 3 installments, plus her portion of utilities through her move-out date. No drama about the money, which I appreciated. This is the part that really surprised me. I expected our friend group to be awkward and divided, but that's not what happened. Most people have been incredibly supportive. Jack organized a guys' night the weekend after she moved out. We didn't talk about Aurora much, just played poker, watched basketball, ate too much pizza. Exactly what I needed. Natalie and Sally have checked in on me regularly. Sally actually apologized for initially thinking I was being too harsh. She said watching Aurora's social media meltdown made her realize how manipulative the whole situation was. Even some of Aurora's other friends have reached out privately to say they think I handled things well. I've mostly avoided hearing about how Aurora's doing, but some information has filtered through anyway. She apparently started therapy, which is good. She's also been reaching out to mutual friends for validation about the situation, which is less good. According to Sally, Aurora's been telling people she made a mistake and wants to try again with me. She's asked multiple friends to reach out on her behalf. Last week, Aurora texted me directly asking if we could meet up. The message was long and apologetic, saying she'd learned so much about herself and relationships, and couldn't we please try to work things out. I didn't respond immediately. I thought about it for 2 days, then sent back, "Aurora, I hope therapy is going well for you. I think we both need to move forward separately. Please don't contact me again unless it's an emergency." She replied asking what she could do to make things right. I didn't respond to that. I'm doing better than I expected, honestly. The first week was rough, kept automatically buying 2 coffees in the morning, setting aside portions of dinner for her, stupid little habits like that. But it's getting easier. I'm sleeping better in my own bed again. I've been cooking more, trying recipes I couldn't make before because Aurora didn't like spicy food or shellfish or whatever. Small freedoms, but they add up. A lot of people have asked if I'm ready to date again. Honestly, not yet. I'm still processing the whole experience and what I learned about myself. I'm not bitter about Aurora. I hope she figures out what she actually wants in relationships and learns to communicate honestly without manipulation. But that's her journey to take, not mine to guide her through. For now, I'm focused on my own growth. Learning guitar, building friendships, working on projects I care about, saving money. When I'm ready to date again, I'll know what to look for. Someone who's excited to love me, not someone who's weighing whether I'm worth the effort. Thanks again to everyone who supported me through this. Reddit strangers showed me more understanding and validation than some of the people actually in my life. This community is